My name is Ryan Scheller, owner of Sound Extreme Productions. These are my 9 tips to a successful wedding day. Tip number 1 is choose professionals. With all of your vendors, your caterer, your photographer, your videographer, your florist, and of course your DJ. Make sure you choose those professionals because those professionals are representing you and it's your wedding day. You have one chance to get it right and make sure you choose the right professional. Tip number 2 is timing. Timing is everything. Make sure you have enough time to do everything that you want to do and don't cut yourself short, but don't give yourself too much time. I have couples all the time that want to book 8 hours, 10 hours. The average wedding is a 5 to 6 hour booking from ceremony start time to end time. You want to make sure you end it on a really good high note with your guests wanting more. We want to make sure it's a great experience not only for the two of you, but your guests as well. Tip number 3 is let the professionals do what they do best. You hired professionals, they know what they're doing, and let them do what they do. Put in your input, put in your vision, but at the end of the day, just enjoy it and let them do what they do best. Tip number 4, when choosing the music for your wedding day, build the soundtrack based on your taste and your style, but keep your guests in mind. It's not only important to pick the music that you love, but pick the music that you know your guests will love as well. Tip number 5 is laying out your reception. Make sure every vendor is in the appropriate spot. For example, put your DJ by the dance floor. Don't have tables in front of him between him and the dance floor, like grandma and grandpa right in front of the speakers. Make sure your bar is accessible and close to the dance floor. Have your photo booth in the same room so it's not out of sight, out of mind, and it gets a lot of use. You want to make sure that the flow is very nice, your wedding is intimate and not too spread out. Tip number 6 is dance floor. Make sure the dance floor is not too big and not too small. Sometimes I've been to weddings where they have a huge dance floor, maybe a 24 by 30, and it's a 75-person wedding. That big of a dance floor is a bit intimidating. So you want to have the right size dance floor for the size of wedding that you have. Also take in consideration location. Centrally located makes it a little bit more intimate, makes it the center. Also having the DJ right next to it, having the bar like I mentioned in tip number 5. So choose your dance floor wisely. Don't have it too lit. Have your lighting set at the appropriate levels because nobody wants to dance in the spotlight. They like it a little bit dimmer, a little bit softer. Tip number 7 is your ceremony. Your ceremony is one of the most important parts of a day, and a lot of people kind of forget about a lot of the things that can ruin a ceremony. So you want to think about the sun, where the sun is going to be setting or where it's at in the sky. Are you going to be looking into the sun? Is it going to be really hot that day? Is it an area that can get wind? Do you have any highways or anything that could be loud during the ceremony? Believe it or not, water features can be quite loud during a ceremony when everybody is quiet trying to hear you do your vows and hear the officiant. So think about those other noises of vehicles or boats or water features. Also, when setting up your DJ in the right spot, make sure he's out of the way of photos. The sound should be heard, not seen. So speakers should be nice and wide. Your microphones should be lapel mics so that you're hands-free. There's nothing worse than having an awkward handheld mic that you have to pass around to one another or a mic on a stand that's in all of your wedding photos. So put a lot of thought into your ceremony. It's a very important part of the day. My number 8 tip comes live on location here. We're getting set up for a wedding out in Clarksburg. Beautiful wedding day out here. And my number 8 tip is planning, preparation, and organization. Make sure you do all of those planning sessions and detail sessions with all of your vendors. We do 3 planning sessions or sometimes more, and even site visits with our clients. So make sure you take the time to do those planning sessions with all of your vendors because it's very important when it comes to the day of. That way, those vendors are not asking a lot of questions from you and you get to enjoy your day. So make sure you do those planning sessions and make sure you connect those vendors with one another so that they can do planning sessions with one another as well. That way you have a whole team of vendors working together, organized, and you have a team coming in to make sure you have a successful wedding. And our final tip, number 9, is take moments throughout the day. The day is gonna fly by. Everybody says that it went by so fast, so take those moments to just share with one another the experience. Right after the ceremony, if the two of you just go back to your suite or a cabin or just a place that you can be alone for 5 or 10 minutes. During the reception, take a step back from the reception, kind of out of sight to where you can just look over your reception and look at all of your friends and family and just really take in that moment. So my final tip is just enjoy the moments of the day and take your time. My name is Ryan Scheller, Sound Extreme Productions, and these are my 9 tips to a successful wedding.